So I can remember you guys mentioning the fact that we really didn't want to have the how to like do a lot of prop drilling. And I think I worked a little bit of that on that.
That's
Mhm.
what
So
I'm
I
hoping.
converted the use chat hook.
Yeah. Can you make your text? Can you
The
make your
use chat
text
hook.
a bigger?
Yeah, sure. Let me close this.
Here, let me see if I can make this even. Oh, not like that. Like this.
Oh, yeah, that's much
See.
better.
Okay.
Provider.
Thanks.
So I converted it into a provider. So the same logic applies here, but also converted into a provider, and it's easily consumed using the hook. So all I needed to do was wrap it around the project layout
Mm-hmm.
right over here. Um, that's that. Yeah, the things in there are files on the file tree, the project name, project type, and the active file content.
Got it.
And all we need to do right now is just to use the.
Yeah.
All we need to do is use the use chat hook anywhere else, and we have the content.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. So, we had a question. I was just talking to Akhilesh about this when you came in. Um, very specifically, I'm working in the prompt builder file.
okay.
Can you open that up real quick? It's just prompt hyphen
Um,
builder.
okay.
Yeah, that one. So this one uses active file contents. If you scroll down a little bit, um, and I wanted to what yeah, I wanted to add another basically another file contents into this. So, but this is in a different workspace. This is in a different library. Will that still work? Oh, yeah, actually it doesn't use active you see context.active file. Do you see where that's
Yeah.
coming from? That's
Context. If yeah, you can say
so search for
it's coming from the request, the AI request.
yeah, it's coming from what's the other file? It's coming
It's
from
just
And
um
then the other file is index.ts in the client folder.
in client. Yeah,
yeah,
it's coming from client/index.ts.
okay, I can see.
Yes.
So I can
Yeah,
come there, can find okay the build.
validated request. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think the validation request contains the context. So yeah, contains the request, for instance, the messages, temperature, context, active file.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess this is where the context are all passed.
Um okay. And then the the file that calls this is then oh, it creates a client. So basically, um within the web app, you create a what did you call it? Chat context?
Server action.
The thing that he talked about at the beginning is called
Oh, yeah.
chat context provider, right? AI chat context provider.
The shot provider, yeah,
Yeah, the chat provider.
yeah. Well, it uses the stream shot function from the server action. I think it's where all the logic for connecting the um, the AI package that we have and
Okay.
the UI together. This is where everything happens. Am I right, Akhilesh?
And you call stream chat within the chat context. Is that it?
Yeah.
Or you pass the context into stream chat. All of the context?
So we create client, then this is where we pass the. I'm trying to
Uh-huh.
find that. Yeah, this is the context over here. So you add the
Okay.
user ID, project ID, template, and
So
active file.
this is
Wait,
the
can I just look
AI.ts
at that
file,
for a
right?
second? Active file, template type. Okay.
So Akhilesh, you were saying something.
Uh, isn't this the AI.ts file though?
Yeah, this is the server action on the
Yeah, yeah,
front.
that's the server action. Yes.
Yeah.
So James, were you
Got it.
specifically looking for a chat provider?
I was just looking at I was just getting my mind around how I can get a value from the editor into the prompt builder, which is going to be multiple steps anyways. But it looks like this at least simplifies the top level of it.
Yeah, so basically the top level will be creating the AI client
Mm-hmm.
based on what the chat mode is, and then
Yeah.
in that AI client, based on the chat mode, we can pass in context. So, and then everything else will be actually taken care of by the AI package. Should be taken care of by the AI package. But then again, if we want to pass in another field like package.json that we just talked about, then we'll have to update everything in the AI package as well to pass in that extra thing um, as a
Yeah.
context.
What's the best way to get the contents of a current file, of any file?
Currently, what we do is just fetch it the same way we fetch it for the contents of the editor. So when you click on the file, we fetch behind the scene. So the same thing
Yeah.
for the context. When you add the file as a context, it fetches the content and add it to the context. So it fetches the content and add it. So it's just through the normal API, normal REST API that we have.
But
It's
isn't
like
that cached?
I don't think it's cached. Using React query it is. So what we do is we check if it's inside the query cache for a
Uh-huh.
React query, then return it. But it is not in the create query, it's on the continue create this. It's going to like fetch from the API again. So I think this is where we is this try to find the file. Right. Okay. So this the where we get the files.
Yeah.
Get the file, yeah. So file by file ID, project ID. This is where it all happens.
Yeah. But on the client side, um when you go back and forth between tabs,
Mm-hmm.
of course, those we're not refetching the data, right?
Yeah. They're present already, yes.
So where is that stored, that context?
Yeah, it's stored in that was what I was saying. It's stored in the query cache, React query.
In the React query cache. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the part.
Yeah. So
I
like
want to see
the
this.
query provider just stores all the state. So you can get it on demand using the
Uh-huh.
get query data, or the way we do it is like ensure query data. So it's going to ensure the query is either in the cache. If it's not in the cache, like if the cache miss, it's gonna like refresh it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So if I use React query inside the query client provider, will it automatically cache everything?
Yeah.
Then okay, then that sounds like we could use that for the AI. Like let's say the AI wants to read files, we could use that as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because there's two ways. Like you could have the AI talk directly to the backend, or you could have it through this. But I feel this is more consistent.
Yeah.
Um, but then how do we store files that are not like changes to files that are not saved? Where does that get stored?
Mm. Currently, yeah, I remember we store them in the store. So there is a
Uh-huh. Yeah.
let's say editor slice. So basically, there's a draft over here. So based on the file ID, you store this content of the draft. So
Oh,
this is
nice.
the draft. So you have like a draft based on the file ID that was
Yeah.
stored. So you take from the draft if it exists in the draft, then use that. But I'm
Cool.
not sure that would be a good way to go about it because if you have not saved the file, I'm not sure you want to add it. I don't know.
Exactly.
if you,
Exactly. And that's you're totally right. And I think that's actually still one of the most confusing things about even Cursor for me.
Mhm.
Is that if you have unsaved changes in a file and then the AI writes the file, the AI edits the file, the AI will then save the file, which is just strange, but it's probably the only way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you, but or there, I'm not sure what the best way to do it is, but yeah, in our case, if you're reading the file, you probably want to read the last saved version, not the unsaved drafts. If once we start writing files, then actually I'm not exactly sure what we want to do. That's even more complicated. But for reading, yeah, we can just use the use query.
Yeah. Or you could also do like something like a slight pop-up on the UI in case, for instance, you add a unsaved file to the
Yeah,
context of it. Maybe just tell them no that it's not saved if they want to use to. Just like at least let them know it's not saved because I'm not sure how the conflict will be resolved.
yeah. Cursor. I'd be interested to see how Cursor's doing it because Cursor manages it somehow. But but yeah, thanks, Victor. I'll look more into this and I'll probably watch this recording again later.
Uh, so, so one of the things we also worked on was trying to like rework the way it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Let me just try and reload this over again. Especially, um, internet is taking a lot of time. Okay. So now this is how the AI shell looks like. I think it has a bit of long way.
Mm,
But other like placeholder model search where you can search for the model. So, Um,
mm,
so it seems isn't the part of having context.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
Nice,
I think
nice.
so, let's see. It's currently aware of the current active file. So tell me. So let's improve. Yeah. It also works.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. This is awesome.
Yeah, it looks really. I like the UI changes. It looks really clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Thanks
some
to
margin.
the feedback from
Is
from Akilish. There's still some things I'm not really sure of. I'm trying to see maybe ways I could not like add a lot of buttons here. But I'm thinking
Hmm.
that this should be moved out somewhere, but um it's if it's search through
What
the file,
happens
probably add them or something. But
is the context is working.
yeah, yeah. Currently it's not yet working. I just added these check buttons yet. Currently I'm not working.
Oh, so there's no way to know which files are currently in the context.
Yeah, I've not yet
So,
done that. So.
so the so here the check marks mean that they all are in context.
No, this is like a test phase. I've not like
Oh, okay,
added like
okay,
the
okay,
value section.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sorry about the confusion.
No, it's okay.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay, okay.
I think we could just go ahead with the context tabs that we had before,
Mm-hmm. Up top, yeah.
because
Sorry, I
that
agree. I was thinking about it to go ahead with
because
that.
yeah, because that would be more intuitive than anything else,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
You mean
Yeah.
for adding files?
Yeah, yeah. Just like what Cursor and every other AI editor out there
So,
does.
I think they actually have both. But
Uh,
yeah, they actually use both. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you want me to show?
uh, by both. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So there is also, yeah, there are also in the drop down they also show that what files are added. I know what you mean. I'm just
There is
looking
a
at it
drop
right now.
down
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah, yeah. Actually, you can just if you use cursor, their thing is also most intuitive. So you could also take inspiration from that as well if you want.
Just a little bit of question though.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how to undo the active file and the context because I think I don't know. Like
Uh,
the active file, how you because basically the active file also means like it's probably like a context also. If you think about it. So I don't know how to. reconcile the two things. So can an active file also be added into the context, or since I didn't an active file, it doesn't need to be added to the context? So
Oh,
stuff like
oh, you mean if the active file is in the context and then user changes the tab and then adds the adds a different file, and then what happens if the user goes back to that specific file when while the that file is already in the context, right? That's what
yeah,
you're asking.
yeah,
Oh yeah. So I think in that case, we could just have, yeah, that is a confusing situation. Yeah, in that case, I think we could just have we can just compare the active file name and then the files are in the context, and then just um, add or remove files based on that. It could be a simple logic.
okay,
Wait, what? Can you explain again?
Yeah, so the question here is, let's say the user is in app.tsx.
Uh huh.
So this file is the active file, right? So this
Yeah.
is going into the context. And then if the user goes into the index.css and then adds app.tsx as a
Hmm.
separate context tab,
Yeah.
so now we have index.css as the active file, and then
Yeah.
app.tsx as a separate context file. And then if the user comes back to the app.tsx,
Yeah.
the app.tsx file becomes the active file, and then that would also be in the context tab as a separate context file. So in
Hmm.
that case, what should we do?
To keep it there or to remove it?
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So it would be kind of a redundant thing in that case. So I was just like, if we can, we are getting the active file name anyways. So when the active file name, we also know that what files will be in the context tabs as well. So we can just compare that both of them, and then remove if the names are same or something like that. It could be a simple logic to avoid the redundancy.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think we want to keep the state in case we keep changing tabs.
Yeah, yeah,
But before making the chat call.
yeah, exactly. Before making any call to the AI, just remove the redundant context, because that would affect the token usage as well.
Yeah, that would double the tokens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If the file is small, it will be okay, but if the file is really big, then it would be crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you. Um,
Yeah, then this looks really good, Victor. Yeah, really
yeah,
appreciate what you've done here.
Yeah,
mhm.
Victor. I really want to play around with this because I'm very lost in the current code, and I want to have that.
Yeah, yeah. So
I want to have that state, that chat context.
yeah, so whenever
So
you,
let me know when
yeah,
it's ready for me
exactly.
to look at.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, just
Thank you.
let us know in the group that whenever you push it or make a PR or even push it to your own branch.
All
Okay.
right. For sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Okay, great. So, yeah, Abdul got the PHP template working really easily. So yeah, we can add more templates if we need to.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to simplify the templating system, um, the amount of data we need, and yeah, um, that kind of relies on some of these refactors.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, once Victor has the changes in, I can start working on integrating the backend changes into the front end so that users can bring their own API keys.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess that's it, right?
Yeah.